Hey everyone, Michael Short here. Come on, let's go outdoors. Welcome to Elk Island National Park. Just about, half an hour's drive outside of Edmonton, 45 minutes depending on where you are in the city. And it's a real pleasure to be joined by Ramona Mirage, who is an ecologist here at the park. Ramona, we're connecting to talk a little bit about a process that the park goes through every 10 years or so, and that is sort of reopening the management plan of the park. Maybe at the top level, talk a little bit about what the goals are surrounding a management plan for a place like this.
Sure, yeah. So Parks Canada has a management planning process for each of its sites. So we have marine protected areas, historical sites, and national parks across the country. And each one of those sites goes through a management planning process every 10 years. And that management planning process is a high-level management planning process that basically sets the direction for the park and the priorities for the next 10 years. And then it creates an accountability framework for the public as well, for us to basically show the public the work we were doing.
Right, and I guess it looks at all aspects of the park. Is that correct?
That's right, yeah. So it'll encompass everything from our ecological monitoring and management to our visitor services to our assets management and anything that falls in between that is a priority for us.
I guess from the time that you did your last one to where you are now, has anything sort of stuck out? And I'm not asking you to pre-guess what the outcomes will be, but do you have a sense of sort of areas of worry that you feel the park needs to adjust to?
Well, I think it'll be something that comes out in our stakeholder engagement process, but certainly there's been lots of change on the landscape over the last 10 years. There's been more developments in around the area. Edmonton has increased in size, our visitation has increased, we've had climate change, and so there are lots of things that need updating, and that will come out in that process.
Yeah, talk a little bit about the population. I mean, obviously, on the one hand, probably really great that you're getting more visitors. It means the park is certainly relevant to a local population, but it does have a downside, just in terms of the wear and tear and that type of thing.
Yeah, well, I think that Parks Canada prioritizes ecological integrity. You know, we have a really good track record of trying to maintain that balance between visitation and ecological integrity. So there are lots of processes that we put in place to try and make sure that we're not exceeding our visitation capacity where it comes to ecological integrity and the impacts that it might have.
Can you give us just a quick snapshot of what a visitor could expect to find? Here we are in winter. We're actually not far from the Family Day weekend, which of course you've got some activities taking place out here as well. But what could they expect to find during the winter months out here at Elk Island?
Oh, there's lots that go on in the winter months. So we have lots of wildlife, first of all, that folks can view in the summer and in the winter. The bison are highly visible here all times of year, and that's a great attraction for folks who aren't used to seeing wildlife. And we have what we call the Big Five, which is the Big Five ungulate species. People can see those species here. So people that are coming out often get a chance to glimpse bison or elk or moose or either of the two species, mule deer or white-tailed deer. And then in terms of activities, there's lots of snowshoeing. We have snowshoe and stargaze programs that people can come at night. We have people who come for visitation to see the night skies. We have cross-country skiing this year on our golf course. There's still some good winter hikes that folks do. So there's still lots of wonderful activities.
You mentioned a little earlier that you're going through the public consultation process. So how does a member of the public get involved in offering their opinions as to maybe a future direction of the park?
So we have a website. Elk Island has a website that folks can visit, and on that website there is a link that they can click to get to the management plan. And that management plan, there's a survey that they can follow. They'll actually be able to look at the plan itself, and then they'll be able to take a survey and provide some input. But there's also some virtual open houses that we're hosting on Facebook Live that folks can participate in, or they can just send in comments by email.
And I guess another important stakeholder for the park is the Indigenous community, and they're playing a role as well.
Yeah, so I mean, indigenous communities aren't necessarily a stakeholder; they're a partner in the process, and so we have a two-phase process where we started the process by involving them in the planning to get an idea of what they might feel issues are and priorities for the park, and then it comes back around once things are written to discuss that with them and make sure that we're on track.
And timelines, when do you feel the whole process will be done and a new management plan released for the public to look at?
Yeah, we're hoping this year that we'll have a new management plan. I think public comments, we're open to public comments until March 17th. So folks should get things in, and then after that we go through a couple of internal processes, and we hopefully will have a management plan sometime soon this year.
All right, Ramona, thanks so much for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Michael.
So, you want to get out and enjoy Elk Island National Park during the winter months? Great time to do it. We've been getting some wonderful weather. Hop in the car and get out here, folks. There's lots to see. As always, stay safe out there, everyone. Till next time, I'm Michael Short. Come on, let's go outdoors.